What is up, Hayden Nation? Welcome to Talking to the Fans, episode 56. Before we get into this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. He is back, Hayden Nation. BSBL Legacy is back on the podcast. What is up, bro? Welcome back.
It's great to be back. For those who did not know, I'm pretty sure Hayden addressed why I wasn't gone, but we're good. We're back.
We're back. We're rolling for episode 56. Also, I have Christian.35 from TikTok. Also, he just started up his own podcast. It's called the Dead Ball Podcast. Go check it out. I went on it last night. It was a pretty awesome episode. Yeah, definitely go check out his TikTok and his podcast. I'll put the names and everything in the description of this video. But what's up, bro? Welcome on.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Hayden.
No, of course, bro. The first question I have for you, who is your favorite MLB team?
I would say Dodgers because one, my dad was from LA, and then I was technically born as a Dodgers fan, so that's why I like Dodgers.
Yeah, Legacy loves it.
Oh yeah, LA, Vin Scully is my backup. So yeah.
I knew I should have worn my Dodger jersey today.
Man, just kidding.
No, whatever. But yeah, how did you start getting into the Dodgers? Like, what was that passion? Like, how did you start getting into the Dodgers in the first place? And when did you get into the Dodgers?
So I was born as a Dodgers fan, but then as soon as I started getting older, I started playing baseball, and then my dad showed me his favorite team. I'm like, okay, I'll start liking that team. So that's how. And plus, I'm in the Bay Area. If you guys don't know, like I'm in the Bay Area, which is like San Francisco and Oakland. Most of the guys are like I've been Giants and A's fans, so I just like support my family's teams. That's all.
Gotcha.
There you go, bro. How are you feeling about the Dodgers situation in 2023? I mean, they let all these guys go, guys like Justin Turner, Joey Gallo. I mean, he was all right, but
I mean, I'm fine with it, honestly. They just probably need to improve on a lot of the offense. I mean, they really unassigned Trevor Bauer, but he's still a free agent, so we can probably still go after him. But I don't think we're gonna.
It's very, very rare.
At this rate, I don't think the Dodgers have any interest in Trevor Bauer.
Yeah. But
Sadly.
Probably going to at least get above 90 wins. That's what my prediction is.
Yeah. A huge topic that we're going to cover today in this episode is MLB released what the divisions could look like when if there are two expansion teams. But before I get into that whole conversation, that whole talk, I want to talk about a deal that broke, and it is for y'all's rival San Diego Padres. They signed to a 6-year extension. How are both about that? How are both of you feeling about that? Christian, I'll let you go first.
First of all, Udar was very old. Like he's 36. Stupid sense how they would extend him for 6 more years when he's gonna be 42, and that did in his contract. But he's not worth that much money. I mean, I get this. Like he should be lower years, like maybe 2, and then like I don't know, like 35 million, but not 6 years, 100 million for. And then he's gonna be 42 when he retires. So it makes no sense.
Yeah, I think that contract for the Padres, especially in the last 2 years, combined in the back. When I looked at it personally, I'm like, I didn't know his age, but I'm like, he has been in the game forever. How is he still getting a 6-year contract at this time in his career? But Legacy, how are you feeling about it?
I mean, look, like, yeah, 36, you get 6 years, be 42. It's kind of like the same thing with, Trey Turner going to the Phillies. Like, he's going to be old too when his contract is over. It's going to bite him in the butt. But Darvish, like, he's good with the Padres. I mean, it said he had like a 3.20 ERA last year. Like, he's got a good, breaking balls, good fastball. His pitches are really good, but he's getting old, bro. And 6 years for that much money, I don't think it's worth it. When you get old, it's your bones are gonna start, getting real tired pretty quick, and he's not going to have that adrenaline anymore, I don't think. So,
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, there are rivals, but Darvish, it's pretty scary to go against him sometimes. I'm not going to lie. So, I'm a little bit worried, but overall, in the last 2 years, that contract's going to bite him in the butt real bad.
And this may take most of the episode, it may not, but MLB released if expansion teams go down, the likely places for those expansion teams are Nashville and Charlotte. I mean, how are you guys feeling about, those cities if they get an expansion team? Christian, I'll let you answer first on that.
I mean, one, it would be like pretty good for like the MLB community to just like be like a football sort of deal, and then they can like implement more cities into like the process, and like because Charlotte does not have a baseball like minor league team, I don't think, and then you said Nashville doesn't, right? Yeah, you said Nashville.
Yeah.
All right, so like Nashville doesn't even have a sports team base, so it would be like pretty weird. But then they can make up like how the football is like NFC like West, Eastern, East, and then like so on and so forth.
Yeah, and they do a pretty solid job of, supporting their football team and their hockey team. So I think it will be good for MLB to go out to Nashville. I think Tennessee needs a baseball team. And so I feel like Nashville is a good place for an MLB team. And
Yeah.
legacy.
Yeah, I mean, you got Charlotte, who doesn't really have anything. The only place that Charlotte really has is the ACC basketball team. That's about it. No, there's no
NBA
football.
team.
NBA team too. Yeah. So
They got the Panthers for NFL.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they do have that. But if you had a baseball team there, I think it'd be pretty cool. But some teams I think might need some others. Like Nashville obviously kind of needs one. Like Nashville's obviously close to Tennessee, and maybe Tennessee, like Nashville, like Nashville's like where the Titans play, NFL, the hockey team. So you had a baseball there too. Like I heard potential rumors that I could be wrong, I could be right. No one better dog on me if I'm wrong, please. That the Orioles could not be in Baltimore and actually play in Tennessee. So yeah, I heard that the Orioles might, could be at the Tennessee team. So if that does happen, what do y'all think is gonna be the case for that?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely, for me, I definitely see Vegas. The A's go to Vegas. I definitely see it at this point.
Yeah.
And the Orioles, if they move out of Baltimore, Nashville's off the list. So and that's a really tough question. Maybe Montreal gets another team. I feel like a team could come back to Montreal.
Montreal is like Toronto, so like the Blue Jays at the same time.
Yeah, but I mean, they used to have the Expos, so I could see it happening.
Right. Yeah.
For that purpose.
Mhm.
Christian, what's your opinion on that question?
I mean, one, the Orioles could potentially move like what you were saying, and then like they could like expand more and more, like down the line, like a couple years in the future, they can like get another team in Baltimore, and then they can start making new teams that like were teams that originally like the Expos. So they can move teams over to there and there somewhat.
Yeah. Because you think of it, the Orioles have been around for a very long time. Like, they've been around for a while. So if they can't, continue their playing in the town they play, it would make sense. But it'd be sad to see them go because they've been in, Baltimore for the longest time. Years, decades. So, yeah.
So now at this point, we're going to recap every division and we're all going to express our thoughts. But first, we're going with the East, which could be the most toxic division in this whole thing. You got the Boston Red Sox, the New York Mets, the New York Yankees, and the Phillies. Let's talk about that division real quick. Christian, I'll let you go first on, a thought of, that being a division in the future.
I mean, that could be a division because like they're all more towards the east. Like they're more towards the New England territory, and then they can make like a New England sort of division for it, and then they can make because New York and New York that would work, and then Boston, and then the other team like you were saying, they could possibly move out to like a good division, and then yeah, I think they'll be like the football, but like New England, like the New England division.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
how do you feel about the whole toxic situation there?
I mean, it's a little bit iffy because like there's gonna be rivals and there's gonna be like people that there's gonna be like lots of fights like Red Sox, Yankees. We already know that's gonna be a big rival, and then the Mets and what team did you say again?
The Mets and Phillies.
Yeah,
Mets
that'll
and
be like
Phillies.
another rival because like they'll also push out towards that. But like it's gonna be like all rivals for that division, and everyone's gonna like hate each other and all that stuff.
The
Yeah.
hatred is going to be insane. You imagine, Harper and Judge in the same division.
Oh boy.
Lindor too. Alonso in the same division.
And Garrett
Um,
Cole.
Garrett Cole, yeah.
and Garrett Cole. Oof.
A lot of guys, man. Legacy, what's your kind of whole opinion on, the East, the future East is what I like to call it right now.
Okay, let me say this, Hayden. I know we've talked about it for a little bit, but to say go on record for the podcast, like the Mets and the Yankees, that's always been a Subway's toxic series. Like, there's been so many moments. Red Sox and Yankees, on the other hand, that's like the biggest rivalries in baseball history. Same with like the Dodgers and Giants and stuff. So to like, if we have and those Phillies too, against the Mets and everyone else, to have all those teams in the same division, it's going to be a good division. It's going to be hard to win games, but at the same time, it's going to be very, very toxic to like. Honestly, it's going to be maybe I personally would say probably my most hated league ever if I had to see that happen.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, I think we could see a lot of this happen in 2027 because I think that is when the MLB agreement is up. So I
Yeah.
think 2027 could be the year we see all this occur.
So 4 more years.
Yeah. The 2028 season, maybe, I guess, because after the 2027 season.
Yeah. Which I'm gonna say this could be a potential another lockout, maybe.
Possibly, but
I hate to say it. I know, but I'm just saying, if you think of it though, I'm sorry, Aiden. But remember, the reason we had the lockout earlier, like the years, because we could get an agreement. If that's the same reason in 2027, it could be another lockout potentially, with even all the rules and changes we might have. So I'm just saying, let's not think about it. But if it does happen, I would say from now to 2027, if I'm correct, I'm just gonna say I told you so.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would say that. Yeah, let's talk about the next division on our list, the North, featuring the Reds, the Guardians, the Tigers, and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays, if they got a dynasty going at that point, they're gonna be running that division.
They probably got the best team in that division instead of everyone else.
Yeah. But yeah, Christian, what's your opinions?
I mean, one, the Reds and Tigers, they won't probably win the World Series in like so long if they don't improve like how the Guardians did this past season. They improved like their pitching, their offense. They signed a couple guys last offseason. But if the Tigers and the Reds don't improve, they're not gonna like perform well, and then it's gonna screw everything up. So then they're gonna. I mean, Toronto's gonna stay good for lots of years because they still got Bo Bichette. They can extend. They still have Waddy they can extend. They have a lot of the good talent, the young talent, but it depends like who if they decide not to like extend those guys, like we don't even know what's gonna happen. Like, are they gonna be good? Are they gonna be bad? Are they gonna be so and so? But like what I'm trying to say is like they need if something happens throughout the off season these next like couple years in the future, then something's gonna like that might be a whole bad division, which makes no sense to have.
Yeah, that's a fact right there. Legacy, what are your opinions?
To add on about, there being a bad division, not having it. Well, we kind of already have a bad division, like in MLB currently. I
Yeah,
gotta go check that up, but I can't think of the top of my head. But at the same time, also adding on to Bichette, he just signed a 3-year, like $66-something million deal to avoid arbitration. So if you have him for those 3 years, you extend Vladdy, you extend some other people, yeah, they'll be a scary team. And then, you have the other teams that are not so good, like Detroit, Cincinnati. They're not good teams. Like
yeah,
Cincinnati had one of the worst records to begin this year or last season. Like they were horrendous. They legit threw a no-hitter, I believe, and actually lost that game.
Yeah, they like won. The Pirates won 1-0, and then they lost a no hitter.
Like you throw a no-hitter and you're gonna lose. That's embarrassing.
that is embarrassing.
At that point, I wouldn't even be a franchise at that point anymore.
Yeah. Oof.
So to respond like that division being terrible, it probably would be if Toronto can't get their stuff together. Because I'm gonna be honest, Toronto, they got a good team, but they need to work on the defense. There were so many areas this past season that just balls got through way too quick. The people weren't on it. So many like dropped potential plays. Like it was horrendous to watch the Blue Jays to even just win games, honestly. And the fact that I'm gonna say this, I hate to say this to you, Blue Jay fans. How do y'all choke a 7-0 lead to the Mariners? The Mariners are crying out loud. It took them 20 years to get back to the playoffs. And like those people said that were Toronto fans, we do not deserve to be a baseball team. We got the Raptors to thank you 2019. As I quote someone, 2019 Raptors, thank you. So I'm sorry, but like if they can't get their stuff together and the way they played against the Mariners this year in the playoffs, then yes, I agree. But if they can get it together, then they'll probably be a dominant division if that happens.
Yeah. I'm gonna give y'all the actual true information. It was an 8-1 lead. It was by 7 runs, but it wasn't a 7-0 lead. Don't let VSBL Legacy fool you.
No, I know. Trust me. I just want to get some people happy. 8-1 lead and you choke. So sorry.
Yeah, brutal. What's the date on that? Like October 9th, 2020.
October 9th.
I think so. The next division I want to talk about is you look at this division now and you think, how would this even work as a division? But that division is the Mid-Atlantic, the Orioles, then Carolina's expansion team, then the Pittsburgh Pirates, then the Washington Nationals.
Okay.
Christian, I mean, what are your thoughts on, that division? It's it'd be a crazy division, honestly, in my opinion, but
I mean, it could be iffy. It depends, like, what happens in the future offseason. Like I said before, it could be iffy. Like, because Juan Soto's be a free agent soon, and the Shohei Ohtani could be a free agent.
yeah.
So they might want to pull some of that division could consist of those guys, and then they could implement them, which could work. But then they also could work on getting more prospects down the stretch, and then they could build a good prospect division, and then they could probably do a pretty good run for it.
I mean, it's a weird thing, with expansion teams and how they get their players.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, it works by, free agency, and I'm guessing like you get a lot of draft picks.
Hopefully.
They probably, you probably sign some guys, without getting drafted. You could probably get some of those guys as well. I don't know. I don't know how an expansion organization works. I don't know what tools MLB gives them. Yeah, Legacy, what are your opinions on, that North or that Midwest or Mid-Atlantic division?
So I kind of almost forgot a little bit of the team. So just tell me if I'm wrong. So it's the Nationals, that Carolina expansion team, the Pirates, and the Nationals.
The Orioles, you already said the Nationals.
Orioles. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. The question is, will we even know if there's going to be expansion team for Carolina? So that's kind of like where I'm like, I kind of draw the line. Two, the Nationals, they got Meneses and, everyone else, but they're not, super A-list team like they were in 2019.
Yeah.
The Pirates, they got talent. They got Ono Cruz. They got the other rookie. It's like Jack. Key Ryan Haynes, and there's like the rookie. What's his name? Like Jack.
I don't know.
Something with the S. I know who it is.
Yeah.
I don't know on the top of my head. But yeah, so like, and they're pitching. They kind of need help with the pitching. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's horrendous. So that's gonna be tough. And then, the Orioles again. Like, they've got a very bright future. I could see them winning the World Series in like 10 years. I'm being for real. Same with
for sure.
I know we haven't talked about them yet, but like the Mariners as well. Some other teams, they got some teams that got very bright futures. And one of them is definitely the Orioles. They've had one of the biggest downfalls in like recent years. But oh my God, dude, they got Gunnar Henderson, the top prospect in MLB. They got Adley Rutschman. They got a bunch of other guys too. Their pitching's great. Their bullpen's great. They've got a very bright future. So that division might be one of the maybe top A-list ones if it happens, unless one other division is better, which we have not talked about yet. But if it does happen, I can see the Orioles probably taking over that division.
Yeah. So the fourth division on our list is the Southeast. And, I hope, guys, Hayden Nation, other baseball fans out there, do not give the Braves hate for this because it is out of their control. But they're going to be in the division with the Rays, the Nashville expansion team, the Marlins, the Marlins. Yeah. Christian, what is your opinion on that division?
I mean, one, the Braves are just extend like Michael Harris, Austin Riley. Did they
Spencer Strider?
Yeah.
Spencer Strider?
Yes, Spencer Strider. Yeah, that division, like Jazz is going to be there for a while. He could possibly be like a MVP candidate down the road, so that'll be a good division. And what other teams did you say?
So the Marlins, the Nashville expansion team, and the Rays.
So the Nationals, like the Rays, Randy could possibly be there still. We don't know, but then the other team, we still know if that's going to even happen. If it happens, then we could possibly see a good division because we might see some good talent popping up, like some good prospects, some good anything really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to kind of go through these last four very quick because I want to try and get through them. We got 8 minutes 23 left on the recording, but I'm gonna split these last four between the both of you guys. So first off, the Midwest: Chicago Cubs, White Sox, Brewers, and Twins. Lacey, I'll let you cover that one.
I'm sorry, but that sounds like maybe one of the worst divisions I've heard of. I'm sorry. Like, just hearing those teams come to mind, the Brewers are washed. The other teams, like, the Cubs, they might have a good team here and there. Like, we don't know what's gonna happen in the future. They're obviously still gonna have Dansby. But division sounds terrible. I don't even know who would win that division at that point. Like, they're not those teams, they're mid or they're just not good at all. So I really don't know like what to think of that.
Yeah. Let's go to the Southwest. And Christian, I'll let you cover this one, but who is going to be in that division is the Astros, the Royals, the Cardinals, and the Rangers.
I mean, the Astros are gonna be good for a long time because they still got Jose Altuve they can sign for a long time. They still got Jeremy Pena for a long time. And then the Cardinals, they're gonna lose MLB either next season or the next other season. And then they still got Nolan Arenado though. Paul Goldschmidt might retire by then. But then the Royals, Salvy's gonna retire soon. They still got young talent like Bobby Witt Jr. They still got some good pitching. And then what was the other team that you said was the final team?
So that division is the Cardinals, the Rangers, the Royals, and the Astros.
And then the Rangers, they have Jack Leiter. They still can use him because he's still in the minor leagues. He's probably going to stay there for a long time. And then they got Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, but we don't know if they can trade them yet because like it's still in the future. We don't know. And then they still got young talent like Adolis, and then Sam Huff, and then all those other young catchers.
Yeah. Lacey, I'm gonna let Christian go again, but you'll thank me later for this one. But let's talk about the Pacific Coast Division. The Colorado Rockies, the Oakland Athletics, the Seattle Mariners, and the San Francisco Giants.
Okay, first of all, the A's will not perform well if they move to Las Vegas. They're not going to perform well. I hate to say it, A's fans, but they're not going to perform well because they have no talent. They might get a couple guys down the road, but right now they have no talent, and if they don't sell trade away all their prospects, they might get a little bit of money to spend. And then the Mariners, they could possibly win a World Series in the future, like AC was saying. And then like the Rockies, they could possibly be a dominant team in the future with CJ Cron and all those guys coming up. And then the other team was the what?
That division, the Rockies, Athletics, Mariners, and Giants.
And then Giants, they're gonna lose Brandon Crawford soon. He's falling out of slump. And then they have good talent like Joey Bart, Logan Webb, and then some good talent with pitching wise. So I think they're gonna improvise that, but they're not gonna do as good as they did last year because in 2021 because they're not gonna have that many guys. Last year, 2021, they had Buster Posey who just retired this last off season, and then they have Brandon Belt who's now in the Blue Jays. He's gonna retire soon, and then Brandon Crawford he's gonna retire soon. So we don't know yet, but I think they're not going to perform as well. But if I had to pick a winner for that division, I would probably say the Mariners.
There you go. I think that's the obvious one. Right now, they got a huge dynasty going right now. So the last division that we got, and Legacy, this is where you can thank me after the episode for giving this one to you. But in this division is the West. The Arizona Diamondbacks, the Angels, the Dodgers, and the San Diego Padres.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna say this. That's gonna be it's gonna be half and half.
Yeah.
Because you got the Diamondbacks, you got the Dodgers, the Padres. Who was the last team?
What's it called? I forgot.
The Diamondbacks, the Angels, the Dodgers, and the Padres.
Okay. Angels, down the road, Trout's going to be gone. Otani's going to be gone, I believe. Some other people are going to be gone. I don't think that's going to last well. The Dodgers, our dynasty's not over yet. Yet. I said yet, Dodger fans. It's not over yet. We're still developing a little bit. I mean, we got rid of, I hate to say this, we got rid of my favorite player, Bellinger. We got rid of a couple other people. They have a good, bright future still. There's no rebuilding to be done yet. So, and then the Padres, they've also got a bright young team. I hate to say it. I really hate to say it. But they got a bright young team as well. They're gonna have Tatis. I don't know about Machado though. His contract's almost over. I don't know if he wants to go back. Juan Soto is gonna probably be there for a while if they extend him. X-Man Bogarts, Darvish, maybe Blake Snell, some other pitchers. I think it's just gonna go back and forth between the Padres and Dodgers, but I think the Dodgers will most likely just take over that division as we always kind of have currently.
Yeah,
So LA all the way, honestly. That's just not being. If the people that call me biased, I swear, it's not biased, man. I know baseball, and I know what both teams do, but LA always has a way to win because, just hear me out, Padre fans, you guys always figure out a way to screw up during the deadline. I'm sorry. You guys give away so much prospect. Like, look at, you guys had Jorge Mateo, I believe, and look what he's doing for the Orioles. He could have done that for y'all, but no. A bunch of other players and prospects you gave away as well turns you to lose a lot of games. I mean, yeah, sure, you beat us this year. You guys got, got a bright young future as well. But again, you guys, they somehow barely made the playoffs this year.
yeah.
Sorry. So, by a smidge. So, I'm just to end the conversation. LA's gonna probably win that division.
Yeah. Last little short, quick question. It might cut us off, but I'm gonna ask this pretty quickly. Christian, if you had to pick a creator or just a random person in general to challenge to come on the podcast, who would you pick?
I would probably say Shelfie because he's very funny and he can probably make some funny comments to everyone.
That's an awesome pick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Christian, guys, Hey Nation, definitely go check out his podcast. I'll put it in the link or in the description. Definitely like, comment, subscribe.